What we're going to go ahead and do here is we've tilted the motor, and we're going to go ahead and drain the oil out here. So, and we're told that if you don't use the oil exchanger, it gets everywhere. So let's see that happen. Kind of stubborn. Hopefully we don't drop that in the pan here. So I expect a mess. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's probably not gonna be able to film that.
Wow.
Woo. It's a lot of oil.
Yeah.
And it's coming out fast. There we go. We're good now. Woo.
Can't really see it coming out though.
Yeah. Alright, so we've made a huge mess, and that's okay because, well, we're wanting to figure this out. So what we figured out is it doesn't make a huge mess like the Yamaha dealer explained, meaning draining all over the engine. And I need to trim it down. Obviously the recommendation is 5 to 10 degrees, so we'll do that. And it may get on the engine, but more importantly is when it's warm like it's supposed to be, it shoots out at an angle. Didn't really anticipate that, so we'll go ahead and finish lowering it here, and hopefully, there we go. So I see it splattering a little bit down on the engine, but that's still not near as bad as I thought it would be. Alright, so we'll continue to let that drain and pick up as soon as we're finished draining the engine.
2.
Pause.
Going.
Alright, what we're going to do is go ahead and remove the cowling, and we're going to locate the oil. It's not called an oil filter. The manual calls it something a little different, but it's a freaking oil filter. So we're going to take the cowling off, take a look at that. At the same time, over here, we're going to leave the apron off just in case we overfill it, and based on our progress so far, that's likely. Well, so come take a look over here. What you've got, this is your dipstick, or how you check the oil level here. I've already checked it. We've drained it, so it doesn't really matter at this point. So what we're going to do is go ahead and remove this oil filter here and call it an oil cleaner, now that I remember. So we're going to remove that. Hopefully it don't make too much of a big a mess there, but we'll turn the engine, take this out, let the oil continue to drain as we do this. Don't know if the manual recommends that or not. Clean that up, and then what we'll do is go on the other side. I believe it's the other side, yes. The oil filler cap, based on what the manual said, is somewhere over here. So we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. All right, so what we've done is, as we said a minute ago, oil filter's here. We went ahead and loosened it. And what I want to just make a correction to is that the oil, the place to refill it is actually right here. It's not on the other side. So we went ahead and loosened this, and what we're going to do now is go ahead and unscrew the filter and see how big of a mess this is actually going to make here. So we do anticipate. Let's go ahead and anticipate a little more here. So I'm going to stick a rag down in there, and hopefully won't catch too much. But let's go ahead and, oh yeah, it's coming out now.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Go fetch it.
All right. Not too bad. Could be worse. Oh, there it is. Yep,
Yeah.
That's worse now. So I'm going to try and get that out of there like that, and put that down in the tray. Put it on my little thing. It'll stay right there. And then what we're going to do, can you see what I'm doing here? Okay, back up a little bit.
The filter box.
Yeah. So we've got the oil filter here to put back on the boat, and just like you would a car, we're going to actually put a little oil around the gasket there. But I do want to show you this. I went to Marine Service Center in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. They recommended using, this is Yamaha lube, but it's 4M 20W40 4-stroke engine oil. So that's what we're going to do now. And we're going to go ahead and prepare that seal here. There's a little plastic thing you need to take off. So we're going to take a second and go ahead and do that. Pause me.
Rolling.
All right, so we went ahead and cleaned up the mess inside the engine. And if you'll look with me right here, there's actually a drain plug right underneath this little thing here to flush your engine. They didn't state that in the manual, so when you pull it out, put some rags in there to try and catch most of it. I guess you can just go ahead and let it drain out. But we pulled this out, and it really, if you wiggle it, it comes out that easily. So there's still a little bit left over, so we've got the pan still down there catching it. So what I'll do is kind of show you here. You can just work it in there. It's pretty easy to take in and out. But I went ahead and cleaned it out and continue to let that drain. But what we did is we took the new filter, ripped the plastic off the top, put a little oil in there like you do with a car, and we'll go ahead and put in our new filter just very easily here. Thread it on. Okay, and it says to tighten it about a half a turn, so that's what I'm going to do there. And that's about half a turn overall. So then what we'll go ahead and do here in just a minute is we'll replace the drain plug. It's still draining, trying to get the maximum amount of oil out of it, and we'll go ahead and put that back in here in just a moment, and then go ahead and start and fill the engine and follow the rest of the instructions. All right, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is put the drain plug back in. You can see there's still some draining. I've lowered the motor just a little bit more to try and see if we can get a little more out of it. I also unscrewed the filler cap up top to see if we could get anything to come out. So after letting it drain for a good probably 20 minutes or so since we started the process, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off here. And what you should do is put a new gasket in there, and that's what we've done here. Take the bolt, and just as our point of reference, it's a 14mm socket. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that to tighten. There we go. And I don't have a torque wrench, but I do know how tight it was when I pulled it out of there. I'll look up the manufacturer's level here. And there we go. And we can go ahead and get ready to fill. What we're going to go ahead and do is take off the filler cap. We'll go ahead and clean that a little bit. We'll use our funnel. And the manufacturer's specifications call for, I believe, 6.6 liters. We'll look back at it here in just a minute, but you know, a whole gallon, that's barely about half of that, or a little more than half. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in, and just be careful to not do that. And then, I hate it when they put these things on there. It makes me nuts.
Yeah.
Goes in pretty easy, as you see.
Yeah, just don't get too fast on it. Don't go too quick. Yeah, well. Stop.